How to not be an introvert in New York. Now that's a very loaded sentence statement, all that. I'll be honest, like you can't survive like that in New York. Definitely not New York, but really anywhere. But let's get into the first and foremost, the very beginning of this conversation. Introverts don't really exist. Like you've been conditioned to think that's like a real term with a real definition, with real meaning and justification, aka juice behind it. But there's no real juice behind that word. It feels like there's juice, but there's no real juice behind that word. Nobody's an introvert. Nobody's a born introvert. That's stupid. That is truly stupid. I mean, there's probably some type of science on it, maybe, perhaps, but let's not focus on the science if we're trying to overcome this quote unquote dilemma that we're having. If there's articles saying that introversion is real and it's genetic, let's not read those articles because we are trying to overcome something. We'll be a phenomena. We will be one of one, okay? We're gonna be the ones that, went against the grain, went against all the defiance, all of that, right? So boom. If you really want to overcome this, and this is something I go back and forth to myself, so definitely speaking from personal experience, I think the main thing comes from consistency. It's like whatever you feel like you want to make a habit, you're going to make a habit. And then once it's a habit, it's easy. So literally, first you got to be outside just about every day. Um, and I don't mean like you got to be at a club or a bar. I don't mean that type. Like we outside. Like you could be outside every day, but not just like literally just go outside. I know that sounds cliche or like I'm trying to throw a jab. I'm really not. But just go for a walk or something. Just walk around. Just do something outside. Just do something, right? That's like the bare minimum. That's baseline. You don't gotta talk to nobody. Just observe. But also try to be in places around people here and there, like when you go on your walk. Don't just go like the scenic route every single time where there's nobody, because I know we all know those routes. Don't take that one. Take the one where there's at least one or two people, maybe a hike, bike trail, something like that, right? And just be in the mix, but don't actually be in the mix. I know I'm talking. Nah, nah, but like observe what's going on. The people, just through osmosis, you're gonna like start to see how people move, why people move the way they move. Okay, he called him a dickhead because he did that. Okay, probably shouldn't do that. Like, but just observe. Don't try to engage. Just watch, learn. That's really the biggest thing you're trying to do here for this first period, this first baseline. Once you say, okay, I think I got a decent grasp on, what's going around in my surroundings, neighborhood, the way people interact, try one person per day. I promise you this will change your life because you really don't understand like how these small interactions quite literally change the direction that your life goes on. Like, and that sounds so dramatic, but it's not. Like, literally, I hate this phrase too because I've heard it. That's like you're an interaction away from like changing your life or something like that. It pretty much is true. Like you are. But it's all really a numbers game in terms of how many people you interact with and just building up your persona. Now there's something tricky about that when people say it's a numbers game. Um, it is a numbers game in terms of yes, you have to talk to more people. That doesn't just mean like quantity over quality. You know what I'm saying? After talking to this one person per day, any random person you find, a stranger, I know it's awkward or whatever. I'm gonna get more into that in a second. But just to jump back to this really quickly, don't try to just talk to a bunch of people saying, okay, there's one interaction that's just gonna happen to go right. No, you have to work on the quality of the interaction each time, which is like starting with you, how you really initiate these conversations. Because 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be initiating the conversations. You'll be surprised though, once you start reaching out to people, just naturally, people are gonna start reaching out back to you, and you'll see this on a daily basis. Like, you start talking to people, and people are like, "Oh, this person kind of has the vibe that they talk to people, so I'm gonna talk to them." I don't know why it works, how it works, but it works. It works. I'm telling you, it works. Telling you, it works. Sometimes I just walk in the supermarket, and on the days that I'm really like, maybe I'm not gonna talk to somebody today, somebody will come up and talk to me. Shout out to God. Just whatever you believe in. But now back to making that first big step of like, okay, this is a random person right in front of me. It's just you. Like We stand on the block, right? Boom. I see you corner of my eye. I'm like, yo, I kind of like what that person is wearing. This, that, the third. Easiest thing you can do in this situation, aka what I'm gonna do in this situation. I see you, I'm like, yo, excuse me. I like your purse, man. I like your purse, man. That's crazy. Fucking thing. Look. But guess what? I still would have said it though. Would I have lost? Would I have lost that interaction? Would I have looked completely crazy? For sure. But I won though. You wanna know why? Cause I did it. Now, boom. Shake that L off. You know, I'm taking L's virtually, and I'm not. You feel me? But it's cool though. It's cool. Cause guess what? We go back and get another one. Now this next one, it might be a W. Who knows? Who knows? But you just keep it pushing. You know. And I really think at the end of the day, all of this is just so inconsequential at the same time. Like, it matters so much having the skill, just to go out and just interact with people. That matters so much. But the conversations themselves, in a way, like, don't be attached to the outcome. That's essentially what I'm trying to say. Like, if you literally say what's up to somebody, because again, you're in New York, like, you got to understand, it's not gonna be like, hey, how you doing, Sally? How you doing? Nah, it's gonna be like, okay. Maybe no eye contact. They might think you're homeless. That happens. You're in New York City. You got to understand, like, this is not I don't know, whatever. It's not LA where everybody talks to, everybody, everybody, whatever. I don't know, some nice state, whatever the top nicest state is. It's not that. And you know that. There's a reason why you clicked on this. You know. I don't have to really break that down. What's known does not have to be said. So, on that note, really at the end of the day, what you first have to really, really understand, I wouldn't say first, but the biggest takeaways from this, because I'm not going to yap, I don't care how long this video is, really just trying to help you at the end of the day, is don't be attached to the outcome. However the conversation goes, You don't want to be stiff, physically or mentally, when you're interacting with these individuals. Pause. Now, that was crazy. My fault. Okay, let me lock in. But, like, if you got it, you got it. You don't want to be stiff at all. Because if you're, like, trying to force it, or just thinking about, this has to be good, this has to go well, this, whatever they say is gonna make or break my day, you're setting yourself up for failure. Like, you lost before you even started with that mindset. You need to be very open and flexible. And this really comes to compassion for yourself. You got to understand the fact that you clicked this video, and this is, again, no shade, because I understand exactly where you're coming from. It means that you're not that well versed yet. You haven't mastered the topics yet of the rules of engagement when it comes to just social interactions. And that's cool. That's cool because you're here. That's why it's cool. It's cool because you're here right now and you're learning. It doesn't matter. As long as you're learning, it really doesn't matter. It's not cool if you just like, this is what it is forever and nothing's ever going to change. I'm never ever going to find friends and make cool connect. That's lame. That's real lame. But what you're doing right now, that's amazing. That's extraordinary. Like, truly. So, again, outcome, bro, leave that alone, bro. Leave the outcome alone. And just focus on you, really, at the end of the day, what you can control. If it goes well, it goes well. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And just keep it pushing. But the main thing that I was saying before that was also consistency. This is the hardest part. Because when things go bad, it's real easy to be like, forget it. But you won't really get much from it if you don't be consistent with it. That's just how it is. And surprisingly, I feel like a lot of you watching this, after like a month, you'll probably have like some type of crazy story that'll come out of this. Either a crazy story that someone told you on the street. Maybe you want to caught up on some, like, I don't know, some old friends, or ran into some people you didn't know, or decide to hang out at a bar or a gym, or you just created a crazy relationship. Something that might last you like 2 decades lifelong from now. I'm so curious and interested to hearing the progress, like, in the comments. Because, again, this is to help you, help me. I want to learn, like, what happens, too, when some people, fail, things go right. We all trying to put each other on. That's, the goal at the end of the day, I feel like. Because there's really no reason why, one, you shouldn't be trying, and two, you shouldn't be trying to learn. So, yeah, that's really about it. Again, I'm not trying to yap, but that's really how you survive as a introvert in New York. Deuces.